One of the greatest fighters we've ever seen. Never ran from anybody. Had completely respected the sport of boxing.
I just want to say this to the world. It's amazing how a fighter can come from, I think, 108 all the way to 154 and knock out all these guys. To me, it's amazing. I guess he's just blessed.
Some say Pacquiao's too old, but try telling that to his abs. They've got better attendance than most gym memberships. Welcome back, fight fans. This is Boxing Headquarters, where the gloves are off and the takes are unfiltered. Today, the pros are sounding off on Pacquiao versus Barrios. Some say the legend still hits like a truck. Others think the engine might be running on nostalgia. Let's dive into the hot takes lighting up the boxing world.
One of the best fighters I've faced was Manny Pacquiao. He's a future Hall of Famer.
What the is it about Manny, man? He just don't stop coming.
But you know me, I keep my distance because he's real short. I keep turning him.
Conor Benn dodged the Pacquiao versus Barrios question like it was a speeding ticket, smooth, sly, and suspicious. In this interview, Conor the reporter and his hype man buddy weighed in on the upcoming clash between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios.
Ultimately, you got Barrios versus Pacquiao. I think Barrios is going to be in for a hard fight, to be honest. I think Pacquiao could win it.
When asked, Manny or Barrios, Conor gave the classic dodge, "I'll just have to see if I can get a W," until the reporter reminded him he already picked Pacquiao. Busted.
Manny Pacquiao or Mario Barrios?
Obviously, I'd love to see Pacquiao get a W.
I hope so.
I hope so.
You said Pacquiao too?
I mean, I want Pacquiao to win. I don't think he is.
I think he can, though.
No, he can. He's looking amazing.
That's when Conor's friend stepped in with wild confidence. He's looking amazing. I'm with him every day. He looks better now than before. Either Manny's aging in reverse or this guy's sipping miracle juice. He brushed off concerns about Pacquiao's condition and then got emotional. "That was my guy growing up. I love Pacquiao. That was my man. He's the best."
I'm with him every day. He looks amazing. He looks better now than before Ugas.
It's not like clip. It's really.
No, it's real. It's an hour worth. It's not highlights.
I'm hoping he can.
This isn't just fandom. This is a full-blown Manny devotion arc. He did admit, "I don't want to see him lose to a guy that's on his part," before snapping back into believer mode with, "He's not going to lose. That's what I hope."
Okay.
The thing about that was my guy growing up. I love Pacquiao. That was my man.
He's
the
best.
I don't want to see him lose to a guy that's in his part. You know what I mean? I don't know what's.
He's not gonna lose.
It was part love letter, part nervous energy, a perfect mix of nostalgia, belief, and hope for one last Manny miracle. Floyd Mayweather sat down with Kevin Hart, and when asked if any fighter ever made him question his legacy, Floyd ducked it smoother than a prime Roy Jones. No, but he kept it real, saying by round 3 or 4 he'd sometimes think, tonight's gonna be a rough one.
At any point, did a fighter ever make you feel like, oh, my legacy is in jeopardy?
No, but I've been in a fight. I get like in the 3rd or 4th round, like, tonight gonna be a rough night.
Okay.
One of the best fighters I've faced was Manny Pacquiao.
Even the best ever had nights where he had to earn that undefeated record. Then came the name drop, Manny Pacquiao, the man Floyd called a future Hall of Famer and one of the toughest he ever faced. Kevin leaned in like he was hearing gossip at a family BBQ. "What the F is it about Manny, man?" Floyd didn't blink. He just don't stop coming, like a toddler with sugar or an iOS update, non-stop and slightly terrifying.
He's a future Hall of Famer.
What the is it about Manny, man? He just don't stop coming.
But you know me, I keep my distance. I just want to say this to the world. It's amazing how a fighter can come from, I think, 108 all the way to 154 and knock out all these guys.
Floyd broke it down like a tutorial. "I keep my distance. He's real short. I keep turning him, keep turning." Basically, he spun Manny like a DJ on New Year's Eve. Then he dropped the gem. Short people can pack a punch. Somewhere out there, hobbits just gained street cred. It was classic Floyd, smart, savage, and showing love the only way he knows how, with precision, praise, and a sprinkle of roast.
I mean, he just don't stop coming.
But you know me, I keep my distance because he's real short. I keep turning him.
Yeah, but I think this, height doesn't mean anything because, short people can pack a punch.
Timothy Bradley didn't sugarcoat it. It has to be financial. Any fighter that comes back, especially a guy like Pacquiao, it's about money. Translation, Manny's chasing checks, not nostalgia. Still, Bradley showed respect. Manny's C game is better than a lot of guys' A game. Yup, even with one glove tied behind his back, he's trouble. But Bradley warned, Barrios is no slouch.
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
He's young, bigger, knows how to control distance. In short, if Manny blinks, Barrios might make him pay rent in the ring. Then the cold truth. Sometimes these old legends gotta get beat up before they call it quits. Savage. That's less prediction, more obituary prep. But Chris Mannix sees a different story unfolding. I actually think Pacquiao can beat Barrios, he said. I saw Barrios versus, for being Maidana, wasn't impressed. Mannix basically called it mid-tier sparring with walk-in music. He added, Barrios swells up fast. Maidana didn't land clean, but still did damage. Pacquiao's gonna land.
Yeah, I actually think he can beat Barrios. Like, maybe it's recency bias. I saw that fight. That Barrios-Fabian Maidana fight that was on the Canelo undercard.
Yeah.
I wasn't all that impressed with Barrios there.
Really?
I think, Tim, when he gets hit, his face swells up pretty quickly. And I think Pacquiao's going to hit him in the face. I mean, Maidana didn't hit him much with many clean shots.
Translation. Barrios better bring ice packs to the weigh-in. Finally, Mannix dropped the mic. Barrios is the most beatable welterweight. Stay far away from Boots. Yeah, Boots doesn't box. He deletes people.
Certainly not with Boots. I think he stays far, far away from Boots. But I think Barrios is at least theoretically winnable.
Stephen A. Smith didn't just hand out praise. He rolled out the red carpet, fireworks, and a standing ovation for Manny Pacquiao, calling him one of the greatest fighters we've ever seen. This wasn't just about belts or knockouts. Stephen admired Pacquiao for the way he carried himself in and out of the ring. He never ran from anybody, he said. And let's be honest, that's rare in boxing, where some champs treat tough opponents like they've got the flu.
Your thoughts on Manny Pacquiao's retirement?
One of the greatest fighters we've ever seen. Never ran from anybody. Had completely respected the sport of boxing. Was an ultimate champion. And I have to tell you, one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet on the planet Earth.
Manny didn't just fight everyone. He respected the sport like it was sacred ground. Then came the haymaker, one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet on the planet Earth. He pointed out how, in the Philippines, people line up in the streets hoping Pacquiao helps them out. The man's generosity could qualify as a national currency. He's a giver, Stephen added, saying Manny's money was often compromised because he gave so much away. Bottom line, Pacquiao's not just a living legend, he's boxing's gold standard in gloves and generosity.
They say stuff like, well, he's fighting for money. I would like y'all to know that there are people who line up in the streets of the Philippines just to come get some money from him. He's very charitable.
Oh, yeah.
That's why money was compromising, because he's a giver. He's a special dude. I'ma miss him.
Greg Hackett didn't just speak his mind, he threw combos with his words. When it comes to Manny Pacquiao, Hackett called him what he is. A legend, a calculated fighter, and a straight-up businessman. He wants to steal as much as he can steal, he said. And no, that ain't shade, that's strategy. Manny's not chasing belts, he's chasing bags, legacy-sized ones.
Pacquiao's 45 years old. What you think of that fight?
Sound like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more.
Pacquiao don't need it, but he wants to come back with a bang. Translation. One last money fight before he ghostwrites your favourite boxer's retirement speech. On the Barrios fight, Hackett didn't sugarcoat a thing. If it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But now, at 45, he thinks Barrios might pull off an upset, not by KO, but by doing what Ugas did, jab and jog. If Barrios was my fighter, I'd love to have Pacquiao on the record, Hackett said. And that speaks volumes. Manny's name still hits harder than most uppercuts. But Hackett closed with full respect. These dudes different, Pacquiao's different. He's not just still fighting, he's still dangerous.
Guards beating behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
Yeah, like on some shit like that. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, I mean, why not?
Robert Garcia didn't come to sugarcoat, he came with facts and fire. When asked about Manny Pacquiao's return at 46, Garcia showed respect but kept it brutally honest. "He's a great person, I'd love to see him make history," he said, then hit fans with the cold truth. "He's already the oldest welterweight champ, but 6 years later, I don't see how at 46 he could win."
Pacquiao, you know, went to the I can't say the easiest because Barrios is a world champion, so I can't say he's easy either, man. But it did, you know, if you know, he wouldn't fight against Norman.
Yeah.
He wouldn't fight against Boots. You know what I mean? Because Boots was the champion. Now that he wouldn't have fought against Boots. He would have never fought against Norman. Those guys would have hurt Pacquiao.
Garcia didn't dodge the real talk. He wouldn't have fought Boots, never Norman. Those guys would have hurt Pacquiao. That wasn't shade. That was a warning label. So instead, Manny picked Barrios, a safer but smarter option, since both are with PBC. Garcia admitted Barrios isn't perfect. We've questioned his skills and chin, but gave him credit for youth, size and heart. Still, he didn't flinch when asked about the result. "He's the underdog. I don't see how he could beat him. Legends age. The ring doesn't care."
So he chose Barrios, which also fights for PBC, so made it a lot easier. But Barrios he's young, he's big, he's hungry, you know. He's at performance where we question his, skills, chin. But he has heart, man. He has heart, and Pacquiao's 46.
So what do you think? Will the legend rise from the ashes like a boxing phoenix? Or will the young lion guard his throne with a brutal welcome? Drop your takes in the comments. And hey, if you're loving the heat, smash that like button, share it with your fight crew, and hit subscribe for more knockout content every week.